Make sure to subscribe and click that notification bell if you want to get the videos as soon as they upload. YouTube, what up? Welcome back to another Pounds 978 custom video. And right now, I want to talk to you guys about Carnage from the new Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage. Yes, I want to get it out the way. This looks just like Venom, but even in the movie itself, Venom did say,
"That is a red one. You need to come out right now."
So he does resemble Venom even in the movie. And same thing with Riot. Riot resembles Venom so much that it was hard to depict him. And so they added red to kind of like separate the two. But Carnage does look quite different than Venom. He's not exactly like Venom. And in the trailer, you can see that he has muscle-like tendrils. Like his body looks like Lord Zedd's muscles. And I already have a Lord Zedd. I've had the first release since release, but I've been broke it down. So it is almost ready for customization. But I didn't want to use it because I felt like it was too beefy and it would take a lot of work to take off the rest of the plastic that I haven't yet. So I went with the Venom body, seeing that they both are similar in size, and he is going to be a bigger threat to Venom, so he should be equally in size as the Venom figure. And I did have different plans for him. At first I was going to attach a bunch of tendrils to him. I bought some magnets. They turned out to be smaller than expected, and I couldn't use them because they wouldn't hold any weight. And by that time I just decided to move on to other customs and forgot about this guy and had him in the background for a long time. People on Instagram kept asking me, when are you going to show the Carnage? And then I was like, oh yeah, I had Carnage. And then coincidentally, yesterday we were shown that the movie comes out on October 1st, which is better than 31st, right? We all are aware that the comic version and the movie version of Carnage are slightly different, right? The teeth aren't black. In the movie, the teeth are white. And he has eyes like this. Well, his eyes are pretty much the same in the comic too. And I did this with this head because I wanted it to look different than the other head. The other head I wanted it to be smiling because Carnage is a sick maniac, so he has to sometimes give you those crazy smiles. But this head I wanted it to look like the movie as much as I could. And it may look dark in the front, but I show you it is red. It's just the front of it is airbrushed black, so it fades into that dark black into his face, right into his nose. The entire body and head was a bright cherry red at first with darker black veins. And a lot of people ask me, do I prefer hand brushing or airbrushing? I prefer the hand brush. Light thin coats always gets the job done. I only airbrush if it's needed. I barely even use the airbrush, honestly, but whenever it's needed I do. And with this figure I did. I airbrushed on top of the entire figure, trying to darken it and making it look more movie realistic. But I did want to keep it cherry red. These images were posted online after I had already made my Carnage. So when I saw it, I was kind of like, damn, I wish I waited a little more time to make my Carnage, because then I'd have better reference images. Because the only images I had were the movie trailer shots, and they were pretty dark. But I did like the smile so much, and this is why I used the second head with the closed mouth to make this Carnage as much as I could. I do like this head as well. This one reminds me of Null, right? So I painted Venom's head to try to match the Carnage trailer's head as much as possible. And I do like the teeth, honestly. The teeth look pretty cool because the way they were painted factory were pretty hideous. And I'll show you a comparison later. And here's Carnage with an axe weapon from the axe hand that came with the Carnage from the Venom wave, the first Venom wave as a matter of fact. And it works, I guess. I mean, it should be a little bigger. If you had the Carnage Select one, which I had recently, but I used it for the Riot custom for my boy JK, shout out to you. But if you had the Carnage tendrils and the Carnage axe and weapon from the Select, then that'd be perfect to go with this. You just have to repaint it up and maybe modify the texture. I mean, I don't know, I haven't seen it in a while. The tendrils I know are kind of weird, but it works. If you have the Hasbro one, if you want two of them, you could manipulate it. The only problem is the fist is really small. I was supposed to sculpt the fist over it and I didn't, but with the right angles you won't even notice it in pictures, so it's not that big of a deal. Then again, it might be, I don't know. Using the black background to kind of get better imagery, because with the yellow for some reason it's like the camera wants to pick up the yellow background instead of what's in front of it. But anyway, this is a pretty cool figure. I know there are some things that will make it look like Venom and things could have been done to make it look more like Carnage. I'm super aware of that. Some people asked me to gloss it up, and maybe I'll gloss it up a little more later on. I love to map my figures out when they're finished because it allows me to see everything in detail. When it's so glossy, it's hard to see because light reflects on it and I can't see anything, especially when working on a glossy figure. It's pretty hard. But yeah, I think he does need a little more gloss because I compared him to Venom, and Venom is super shiny, and I think he should have that same shine, even though he looks dirty and like if you had a a bucket of blood and rolled it in dirt, that's what Venom would look like. Dry blood, dirt. How to make Carnage. Dry blood, dirt. That's all you need. The articulation is cool. You guys already know you can move this figure in any way you can move any other Marvel Legend. I show you the paint isn't going to rub. It's just a simple red paint job. You should be clear of all paint rub. Now with this head, I wanted it to be more accurate to the movie and comic, and so I wanted to paint the black around the eyes. And I even thought of sculpting it at first, but I thought maybe painting would do it, and I think it does do the job. People say that Carnage shouldn't have his tongue out, and I agree, but in the movie there is a scene where he has someone up against the wall with his tongue getting extremely long, and so that's the reason for this head. But let's go back to this picture real quick. This is the best view of what Carnage's body looks like. You can see that he has big shoulders, but his biceps, well, those are big too, but you can see that from the elbow to his forearms how thin he gets, and he looks like a Slender Man, just more muscular and menacing. But even his waist slims down in comparison to what Venom looks like, because Venom is bulky and Carnage is smaller. But I do like the way they designed him in the movie, just more muscular, and it looks crazy. It looks like you ripped the flesh off a human being, and under it is that crazy ass maniac. And I could have sculpted the detail into his body, but I chose not to. I wanted it to be just like Venom, kind of like Riot. I could do it one and turn it into Riot, and then you'll have all three, because they're kind of the same, and that's what the movie treats them like. But again, they do have subtle differences, so I think adding the sculpt would pop it out a lot more. Let me know if you guys want me to do that. We can do that. If not, it doesn't really matter, because this was something I just did for fun anyway. It was like spur of the moment. The minute the trailer released the first time, I was like, oh, I can use the extra Venom I had. But you can see the paint job in between the two heads are night and day. Like, I love the way, I don't want to say I love it, but I like the way my teeth came out. You can see every tooth spaced out pretty evenly, and then it has like that snake kind of look. I shared a few pictures on Instagram, and some people think that the head doesn't match the body, and it does. The back of it is red, the middle of it is red. It's just the front is airbrushed black, and so when you have it looking forward, it just looks darker. But I assure you it does match. Nothing too special. I did paint the teeth, and I did redo the eyes because I wanted it to look more like the movie. The tongue is pretty much the same, and I don't know, I like it versus the one with the all white eyes, but I do like the all white eyes because I want Carnage to look like he's really looking at you and not squinting at you like Venom would be, because it kind of looks like Venom too, to be honest with you. So I understand everyone's concerns. It does resemble Venom a lot. It does have a Carnage look as well. In comparison, they both look great together, honestly. I think if someone does want this Carnage and you want me to gloss it up, I will gloss it up. But if I do hold on to it for a while, I'm just going to keep it matte, because that's just the way I like things. It's kind of semi-gloss right now, but that's just the way I prefer it. But again, if someone wanted it, then I'd gloss it up. But we might keep it and just work on it and just continue to make it look like the movie. The more trailers that release, and when the movie finally releases, I think we got one more trailer before the final release, we'll butter it up and soup up Carnage then. But until then, this is what it's going to be. Guys, I appreciate the love. I'm sorry that it took so long to show you, but I really didn't want to show you because I wanted to do so more to it. And I still want to do more to it. But it is what it is. I've held it long enough. It's finally about time that you guys get to see it and tell me what you think about it. Let me know in the comments. Hit the thumbs up if you like this video, and subscribe for more content. Click that notification bell to get the videos as soon as they upload, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.
But if you choose to subscribe, you the man. Yes, you. Everyone below in the comments, yes, you too. Thank you very much for showing me love. Who knew? It's ironic how we think out the box for you too, right?